All right. Got everybody. Okay, here you go. Well, all right, first of all, apologize for the music. Kind of not an ideal place to do this right now. But, all right, so right now what I'd like to go over real quick is, again, my name is Staff Sergeant Vincent Jarman. I'm the Anti-Terrorism Officer for 1st Brigade, 10th Mountain Division, and I'm going to cover a few topics regarding terrorism, the history behind it, the evolution of it throughout the years, as well as some of the things that you can do on your own to help mitigate the risk to yourself while you're both overseas and here in the States. Now, first of all, for terrorism is defined basically as the use of force or the threat of force in order to influence certain behavior or to reach a political end. So, for a lot of people, that's the ideal way in order for them to accomplish whatever it is that they're attempting to get across, whether that be some sort of ideological or religious background that they're trying to push, or some sort of environmental issue, or whatever the case may be. So, the first date, going into the historical background of terrorism, the first recorded instance of terrorism was reported by the Sicaris, which was a Israeli cult back in the early 300 BC time frame. It was conducted against Roman officials and Roman soldiers within that area. Basically, what happened was a single Sicari zealot would go ahead and would assault a superior force, basically on a suicide mission to help sow fear and distrust within the ranks of the Roman soldiers. That's kind of evolved throughout the years within the terrorist realm. Some of the different terrorist groups that you've seen grow throughout the years have been the ISIS, certain Irish Republican Army, all kinds of Al-Qaeda. Everything else has just stemmed off of the past experience of other terrorists, seeing the effectiveness of their tactics and evolving it from there. Now, some of the things that you yourself can do in order to mitigate against some sort of threats against yourself while you're traveling overseas. All right, Americans kind of tend to stand out, whether you realize it or not. That's just because of the way that you dress, the way that you talk, the way that you communicate with those around you. We tend to be proud of where we come from, and we project that out around us. So one of the biggest things that you can do is help yourself blend in with your environment. Don't make it known that you're that terrorist, or not the terrorist, excuse me, step back. Don't let it be known that you're that American tourist. Don't let it be known that you're that American soldier if you're in the military. Don't let anybody know about that unless it's absolutely necessary. Don't be that guy that's walking into a cafe in Paris requesting some sort of military discount for something that you're obviously not going to get anyway. All right, it just kind of puts a target on your chest. All right. Some of the things that you can do while you're stateside in order to help mitigate against terrorist threat is don't advertise. Like, you see a lot of people driving around on the roads, they have their entire enlisted records brief on the back of their car. You know, they have every military award that they've gotten. They have the Purple Heart sign on the back of their bumper. They have Iraq veteran, Afghanistan veteran, whatever the case may be, on the back of their vehicle. All right, you don't want to do that because that lets everybody know exactly, hey, this guy's military. Whether that's just a criminal, some petty thief trying to go ahead and steal your military gear out of the back of your truck, or somebody with a little bit more of an insidious goal in mind. Going along with that, just the kind of common sense thing in order to help mitigate against some sort of criminal activities that go along with that. A lot of times you'll go through any mall parking lot or your Walmart parking lot or something like that, and you'll see on the back of somebody's vehicle, you'll see something, the other half of my heart is in Iraq, the other half of my heart is in Afghanistan. Or they'll have that stick figure family sitting on the back of their car. But what that does is, what does that tell me if I'm a potential terrorist or I'm a potential criminal? That tells me, all right, so the other half of my heart is in Afghanistan. That means one of the two potential caregivers is not home at that point in time. or won't be home for a long period of time. So that kind of makes them, hey, look at me. Also, along with that, you know exactly how many children live inside that house. You know how many caregivers there are. You know everything that you need to know in order for, let's say, a sexual predator to go ahead and act on that information. So it's not really a good thing to have right there. All right, so basically what I've gone over is I've gone over the origins of terrorism, I've gone over the definition of terrorism, and I've gone over some of the things that you can do to help mitigate the risk against yourself as well as your family members while you're overseas and here stateside. Hopefully this helps, and hopefully you got something out of it. Thank you. That was very shitty.